We all know I can be wrong, but I am 90% sure that the main character's dad is not involved in the organization at all, mostly for this scene. So we see the mom discussing with the member of the organization or the head of the organization, at least the guy who brought the nursing assistant in. They're having a conversation where he wants to bring in the main character. He wants the main character to be part of their organization after he found out the main character has the blood technique and he needs the main character part of their organization. He has to be part of it. So he tells her to be a mother to the main character. Coax him, treat him well, baby him, adore upon him. Give him all the love and care that she never gave him his entire life, and give it all now. But do it slowly, but make sure she gives him a love and affection so they can manipulate and control him into joining the organization, because he's not going to go against his mother. Like, they're mother and son. He will never go against her. And that he also warns her to make sure her husband doesn't figure out what's going on. So that's why I am pretty sure his dad isn't part of the organization, because he outright states if the main character's dad figures out what's going on, he will absolutely despise her. And whatever relationship they have will be destroyed. So I am pretty sure he doesn't know what's going on. And I'm just sitting there going, you guys really think the main character will join your guys' organization knowing what happened in book 1? Him witnessing the events of the woman who got back at your members of the organization and then offed herself. Do you think knowing all of this and the main character knowing how you guys treat people like him, he will join you guys? I know that he's not the smartest tool in the shed, but like, he is smarter than what you guys give. He was rightfully angry at you guys in book 1. And after seeing everything that happened in book 2, do you really think he's going to join your guys' organization? Are you guys stupid? Like, yeah, that's his mother, but he hates his mother. Like, yeah, he for some reason loves his mother more than his father, which makes no sense to me. But yeah, what? So I'll give the main character caps for this, so he doesn't take the videos for face value, because he knows the organizations could have cut any sort of scenes out that puts a better light on the male lead, and they could have edited the video any way they wanted to put a worse lighting on the male lead, so he knows it can't be trusted. So he decided to look up the male lead's old text messages, because again, he is a hacker, he can do that. And he sees conversations between the male lead and his father, and it's his father trying to convince the male lead to be his doctor, and the male lead's like, no, I cannot do this. I don't want this job. I don't care what you're paying, how long it's going to be. I do not want the job, because the male lead will need someone to be a parent for, someone to cuddle him, care for him, support him. Anything that passes the limits of what a doctor is supposed to do. The male lead did not want it. He did not want to be the main character's anchor. He did not want to be the main character's support system. He did not want to be a parent. He wanted to be a doctor. And he knew that if he took the job, the main character would become reliant on him, would need his support and care, and would become too obsessed with him, and would not be able to live his life as himself. So he kept putting it down. Well, sooner or later, his father does convince the male lead to take the job. Full on convince the male lead to take the job. And over time, he also finds conversations between the male lead and his sister, the male lead's sister. And in those conversations, he realizes when they're back and forth talking to each other, an event where she was supposed to be spending time with him, she was actually at the hospital with their older female neighbor, which makes no sense to the main character, because she was with him on his birthday, taking care of him on his birthday. Why was she in another location? This leads to him finding a conversation between, again, the male lead and the main character's father, where, again, they discuss that the main character is becoming too reliant on the male lead's sister, to the point he's imagining things between her and him. Things he thought she did for him never actually happened, because he imagined it. Made it up in his head, because he needed a support system. He needed someone to rely on, someone to love and care him. So the little friendship she had with him, he made it out to be much more than what it was. He imagined her doing things he wished somebody else would do for him, which gets the Melly to berate the main character's father, saying that his sister is being this way and having to be made into this by the main character in his head because neither one of the main character's parents want to take care of him, will treat him like a child, will treat him like their child. He says that this could be kind of stopped if they would start taking care of the main character, letting the main character rely on them, letting the main character, them support the main character. He says that my sister's being this way because you guys won't do what you're supposed to do. Like, I am not kidding. They have a whole argument over where the male lead is trying to explain what the father needs to do, or this will get way worse. It also would explain why the male lead started putting his foot down or getting in between the main character and the male lead's sister and trying to keep them away from each other so his sister wouldn't keep being a reliable source for the main character, or again pushing the main character deeper and deeper into his delusions. As long as he kept his sister away, the more safer he could keep his sister and keep the main character. Because again, if these delusions get worse the main character's behavior becomes. The more the main character becomes deluded to the world and deluded in relationships he has with people. This makes the main character not happy. Not happy at all, knowing the fact that the Melly knew this all these years ago, never told him, and hid it from him, and then told his father to hide it from the main character. And main character's upset knowing that the relationship he had with the Melly sister all these years was made up in his head. It wasn't real. It is so sad. Now, there are parts that are probably real between him and her, but now he has to question what was real and what wasn't. And then he also sees the conversation between the male lead and his father and them talking about him quitting. And again, it is a smack in his face. Where the male lead stated, I am quitting my job, I'm quitting it earlier than has to be because I cannot do this anymore. I cannot be his support. He can't be reliant on me. It will be bad for him in the future. He's already showing bad signs of him being too reliant on me. I told you years ago I do not want this, and it's becoming an issue. And the male lead's dad, main character's dad, trying to plead him to stay and help the main character. And the male lead is like, no, I cannot stay and be his support system. I have to go. And again, the main character does not take any of this very well. And I'm like, he is your doctor. He states it repeatedly to your father. He is not your family. He is not your friend. That's why he's your doctor. His job is to keep a sideline between you and him. He takes care of you in a way a doctor's supposed to, not the way a family or a friend would. That is all his job is to. He's supposed to be kind and caring as a doctor, but he's not supposed to be more than kind and caring. Like, honey, I know it seemed like he cared and loved for you, like a parent would, or a older friend would, or an older sibling would, but he is your doctor. Yes, he's kind and caring, but that is it. He's as kind and caring as a doctor can be. And it's sad that he was more kind and caring to you than your own parents were.